All right, so you had time to start example 3. I'm going to go ahead and walk through it, just kind of check to see how you did. So again, below your equation, you're going to write down the formula that best matches this. So I'm writing y squared equals 4px. Cross out all your twins. Sorry. Okay. So again, the way you set this up is you would just set them equal to each other. I know some of you are going to know that P is 3 just by looking at it. But go ahead and try setting it up as well. Okay, so what do we do with that 3? Which axis do we move along? Again, it's all based on your original problem. So I'm going to go ahead and write it again here. It's 12, by the way. Just write it again. Okay, so the last letter is X, so I'm going to move along the X axis, right? So put a dot at 3 on the X axis. Again, the directrix is opposite that, so if I went over positive 3, I'm going to go over negative 3. Where's your vertex? It's always 0, 0, but more specifically, it's in the center, which is also why it's at 0, 0. And then how do you get your other points? Again, go back to your original whole number. So in this case, it's 12, and split that in half. So what's half of 12 is 6. So you're going to go up to your focus, and you're going to move 6 spaces in all directions. Not in all directions, 2 directions. Then start at your vertex, connect your points, hug your focus, and then answer some questions. So obviously this opened right. The focus is located at 3, 0, and the directrix is located on the x-axis at negative 3. Okay, so hopefully you got that. If you didn't, no big deal. Go ahead and just kind of change your work around to show this problem, so it's right in your notes. Okay, so let's do example 4. So the first part of your homework is graphing. The second part is I'm going to give you a piece of information. You have to take that information and write it in standard form. Now to be clear, when we say standard form, we're referring to one of these 2 formulas. Okay, so you're going to use one of these 2 formulas. That's standard form. Okay, so if we go back to example 4, what do I know? The only thing I know looking at this is 2 things. The number's negative 5, and it's located in the X spot, right? The focus is what gives you the p-value. So since the 5 is in the X spot, this is kind of what I'm showing you, right? So in other words, it's not really X equals, it's P equals. So where have you seen the letter P before? Oh, right, in these 2 formulas, right? So now we have to just kind of pick a team. Which formula do I use? Now remember at the very beginning of this lesson, I said that there was a letter that always drove your decision, right? And it's the last letter. So which of these 2 equations at the top has X as the last letter? It's this bottom guy, right? So again, if you look at number 4, negative 5 is in the X spot. So I'm going to write X at the end, which means I'm going to put y squared in the beginning, and then what goes in the middle, that 4p, right? So now you have the easy part. Take whatever p is and just plug it in. So y squared equals 4px, and then solve from there. So again, it doesn't take a lot of math. It's kind of common sense, right? So let's try an example 5. It's important to note that the directrix does not give you P. The focus gives you P. An easy way to remember it, this is going to sound terrible, is the saying, you have to focus when you pee, right? Yes, we all do. So that's the easiest way to remember it. So the focus gives you P, not the directrix. So when you're given the directrix, you need to rewrite it as a focus. And the way you do that is, obviously, we're focusing on the letter Y, right? So even knowing that, I can pick my equation. And if Y is my number, what is the relationship between the directrix and the focus? They're opposite of each other, right? So if the directrix is negative 1/12, then the focus must be positive 1/12. And again, I'm putting it in the Y spot because they tell me to. It's what y equals. So again, we focus when we p, so I'm going to take my p and I'm going to plug it in. So I get x squared equals 4, 1/12 y, and then you multiply. Another way of doing that is just multiply 4 times 1. Ooh, just kidding. And then I can simplify that fraction. So 4/12 is like saying 1/3. Okay, so I'm gonna awkwardly keep the video running for like 20 seconds. This last one is not on your paper, but I would like you to add it to your paper. So the directrix is x equals 3/4. And I'm gonna give you about 20 to 30 seconds. Again, I won't stop the video. We're just gonna sit here in silence. And I want you to just try it. So remember, the directrix doesn't give you p, the focus does. So you have to figure out a way to rewrite this, okay? So go ahead and try it out. If you need help, this would be the time to ask for it. Work with a buddy, but just try this problem. Again, there's a lot of open space on this page, so you can write it anywhere on there. Give you a couple more seconds. Okay, so again, directrix doesn't give you p, the focus does. Focus when you p. So I'm gonna be focusing on the letter x, which means 3/4 is my x, but I can't use the same number, right? The directrix and the focus are opposite each other. So if the focus gives you the p, I can now take that and plug it in. So which equation do I use? Well, if it's in the x spot, that's what comes last, which means y squared comes first. Now, we've gone over this so many times. I'm not a fan of fractions, so what can we do? The easiest way to do it is if you see a big 4 and a little 4, those cancel, leaving you with -3x. Another way you could have done it is you could have gotten -12 divided by 4. It would have gotten you -3 as well. Anyways, here's your answer. Hopefully you got that. If you didn't, that's okay. Go ahead and change it and then ask for help. So here's your task. If you flip the page, there's a parabolas worksheet. There's 8 graphs, and then there's, I don't even know how many rewriting in standard form. You're going to do this whole page, and then you are going to get a stamp. We want to verify that you know how you're doing, or you know what you're doing. And then once you get a stamp, you can progress to your homework. Your homework is located inside your packet. So please make sure you know how to do this. You will not be tested on this, like in terms of a separate test, but this stuff will be in your final. So final is 15% of your grade, so it's really important that you understand how to do this. So if you don't get it, please ask for help. If you would like to, you can grab a laptop from the laptop cart and watch this video again if it wasn't that painful, but just keep working with it, okay? Thanks, guys. Good luck, and I will see you when I get back. Bye.